Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals from a betting perspective. Now, we're currently 19-4 in our official moves on Twitter, so make sure you're following that. Now, I've done all the film research and he's done all the analytics, so we can give you the best information to make an educated decision on the game. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analytics expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for tuning in this week. The Cardinals are on the road as a 3-point underdog. They're plus 150 on a money line, and the Seahawks, they're minus 170.
Now, I'm a little shocked by the spread. I thought the Cardinals would be a slight favorite in this game, or it might be a pick'em. So having Seattle minus 3, the book must be anticipating the public taking Seattle strong here because they don't think Russell Wilson can play 2 straight bad games.
With the Seahawks losing 3 of their last matchups, they don't deserve to be favorites in this game. And the Cardinals, they have the exact opposite result, winning 3 of their last 4. So I'm very shocked the books have Seattle as a 3-point favorite because it should honestly be the other way around.
Now, Kyler Murray has been a big surprise this season. In fact, he actually might be a little bit more shiftier than Lamar Jackson, but I think that's just because he has some really short, stubby legs, and he's able to really just get it going on the edge. But at the end of the day, he's playing great football. Now, I noticed that obviously a lot of his passes get tipped and knocked down at the line of scrimmage due to his height. So that is something to watch out for. But as long as he stays without turning the ball over, he's going to be just fine. And I've actually gone ahead and give him a B- on the season.
Russell Wilson is not the same player right now. 2 interceptions in his last 2 games, and he didn't throw a touchdown against the Rams. This is a very depressing stretch for Wilson, who's in pursuit of his first regular season MVP.
Now, the Cardinals' offensive line against the Bills allowed Murray to be pressured or sacked 27% of the time. Now, that's not good, especially because the Bills have a weak defensive front. But at the end of the day, Seattle also has a very weak defensive line. Now, in the last 2 couple of games, they've been a little bit better with Jamal Adams creeping up at the line of scrimmage, but they are susceptible to the screen game when that does happen. So I do have to give an advantage here to the Cardinals.
The Seattle offensive line is definitely the source of the issue because that pass protection has Wilson shook. He has been sacked 11 times in the last 2 weeks, so it's basically impossible to win when you're getting no time to pass. And they're up against Arizona's pass rush. They have 22 sacks on the season, which ranks them top 10 among the teams.
Now, if you're not convinced Denard Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the game, I don't know what else he can do. He caught that game winner that was absolutely spectacular. Now, when I look at Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk, those guys are productive wide receivers, and they make that group very talented and very well-rounded. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks secondary, Jamal Adams came back, and you see his difference in the pass rush and against rushing plays. But I haven't really noticed him much in coverage. Now, the Seahawk you need to watch out for is Shaquille Griffin. Is he going to play or not? Because he's their number 1 corner. Now, at the end of the day, I got to give an advantage to the Cardinals here.
Metcalf was not able to get any separation last week. With Jalen Ramsey being the main assignment, Metcalf only had 2 receptions on 4 targets against the Rams. And we know for a fact that Patrick Peterson will take on the challenge against Metcalf, and Peterson only allowed 2 catches just a few weeks back against him.
The Cardinals' rushing attack has been great. Honestly, Kyler Murray is a huge difference because you don't know whether he's going to be taking that ball or it's going to be the running back Kenyon Drake. So that unit is very productive, and they're going to be playing against a Seattle Seahawks defensive line. They can't rush the quarterback. They can't stop the run. They can't do anything. So obviously, you got to give advantage to the Cardinals here.
Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde will be returning from a multi-week absence. This should be a big boost for that offense because they've had no chance of passing the ball. Also, this Arizona run defense is giving up 4.5 yards per rush, so they should be able to run the ball against them.
Now, when you look at the Cardinals, you got to give them an edge on the offensive line. You also got to give them an edge, obviously, in the running game. They're just more well-rounded. The secondary has been playing very well. They played good against the Bills. They actually should have had 4 interceptions. They had 2, and then 2 were actually dropped. So that unit is playing rather well as we get into the second half of the season. So go ahead, buy points, take the Cardinals.
This Seattle team is starting to reveal the true colors. No pass protection and no defense is what we've seen from them on a consistent basis, so now it's finally catching up. Seattle has also traveled over 8,000 miles and 21 flight hours over the last 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks for Arizona, they've had 0 flight hours because they haven't had to travel. I think buying up to 4 points on the Cardinals is a very secure investment.
Now remember, we can't predict injuries or the weather, so make sure you follow our Twitter for our official moves. We're 19-4 there, and we are murdering the sportsbook. You are losing money if you're not following our plays. Do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us who you're going to be taking in the comments below.
We don't care about favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow our social media on Twitter, Instagram, or our webpage. The links are below.